All right, let's go to the next one, Kevin. This one is for you. It's retinal neurotransmitter systems in myopia, understanding the role of dopamine and related pathways. This is a fascinating article. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, when I read about this article, I'm also pretty intrigued by the topic and the nuance about like the physiology because I'm so nerdy. I like reading this type of article and kind of help me understand as a clinician what else is behind this, just because we know it work, how does it work? That's always fascinated me. So in this article, this author, Nicole Liu, she is a PhD student in Australia, and she was trying to look into whether there's any like interplay or potential clinical response, understanding the role of dopamine, how it actually play a role in the pathogenesis or how we regulate myopia development in general. And I think there's a lot of things to unpack here. I don't want to, overcomplicate things, but essentially, this author is trying to dissect into different pathway generated by dopamine. There's specifically some studies showing that dopamine is actually one of the proponent of slowing down axial elongation. So basically, they are saying that there's a specific pathway, it's a dopamine dependent pathway looking into how to, if we can upregulate this type of neurotransmitter, we may be able to find a shortcut or a remedy to slow down the axial growth. But on the other hand, the author also tried to balance the other counter argument, showing that there may be other things other than just the dopamine itself. So that's why she touched upon the intricacy, the big interaction among all these neurotransmitter, including like dopamine, melatonin, and also the melanopsin containing photoreceptor. So it's quite a mouthful. But essentially, what it's trying to say is that there's a lot of intricacy and even contradicting data showing that dopamine may work in an opposite manner compared to melatonin. Just because we know that melatonin tends to rise at the highest level when we are at nighttime or in a dim condition, versus dopamine is the opposite. So by regulating each of their individual neural response, we may be able to find a sweet spot, or find balance of how to regulate this neurotransmitter in order to make the axial length grow the way we expect it to. Because it kind of alludes to the fact that dopamine and melatonin and that type of melanopsin containing photoreceptor, if all things come into play, we should be able to help educate our patient in terms of the sleep pattern. Because as we all know, young kids like to spend time at night, no matter whether they're doing screen time or reading or even playing video game. These type of things can actually directly or indirectly implicate, the overall level of dopamine, that type of neurotransmitter, together. So what the author is trying to allude is, by studying all these type of different treatment approach, we may be able to help understanding how we can enhance or elevating a level of certain neurotransmitter and be able to optimize the therapeutic approach for our patient. Because there could be some, pharmaceutical agent that's actually in the market, but they're not being publicized yet. And those neurotransmitter and molecule can actually have shown to slow down the axial length growth, in animal study. So I'm very fascinated and look forward to, ongoing study and see how they played out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll be keeping my eye on RMM for future updates because this is a fascinating topic and the potential of where this could go. I mean, there's so many things that are kind of like I'm thinking about the last Vision by Design with Pat Randy's lecture about there's so many like new aspects to like the signal, for instance, the myopia control signal and whatnot. There's all these new factors at play here. So it's like we're getting so dialed in on like what's causing this and what can we do about it. So it's very exciting. I'll definitely be paying attention to review of myopia management for an update on this topic. If you're interested in getting the rest of the episode, consider becoming a paid supporter of the Myopia Mindset. In addition to an extended version of this episode and every other episode that we do, you'll also get access to exclusive monthly bonus episodes of the Myopia Mindset. And I know you're interested. You've made it this far. You can do so on our Substack, myopiamindset.substack.com. I'll see you at the next one.